We again have clips of Fox News liberal Jessica Tarlov, this time being forced to defend Kamala Harris against the lies and smears being brought by her co-host, where she manages to make some wonderful points. So I've lined up quite a few of these clips, and we can jump in after with whatever context is needed.
You had no choice with her, so you have to support her. And you can hate Trump all you want, but there was a primary. People had a choice. He became the choice. But you are stuck now trying to pretend that this person you wouldn't hire, you know, to, I don't know, babysit your kids.
Oh, I would take Kamala in a flash. The only people who are upset about the quote coronation are Republicans. These Democrats do not exist. We're happy. We're running a race that is now competitive when we thought we were going to lose. That's what we wanted out of all of this.
Yes, on the left, there isn't these qualms about how Kamala became the nominee. I know that's a surprise if you only watch Fox News, but these are narratives that are crafted by the right pretty much just to say, aha, I know we're voting for the guy who actually tried to steal an election, but this is undemocratic by the Democrats, isn't it? Which, no, it isn't. The DNC and RNC are private organizations. They can run their primaries however they want. They aren't part of the government. So inherently, they aren't democratic structures. And this is akin to how they ran primaries up until I think the 50s, if not the 60s. In a primary, you vote for delegates who then select the candidate that reflects the will of the voters, right? When you vote for Joe Biden, you're actually voting for Joe Biden's delegates who will then select him. If that candidate, however, drops out, is unable to run, something happens to him, the only rule of the delegate, and this is in our Constitution, the delegates just choose the candidate they think will best reflect the will of the voters. And seeing as she was on the ticket that won the primary, she was the candidate who got endorsed by the candidate who was voted for, and she's now went on to break fundraising records. I'd say the delegates did a great job.
Where's Joe Biden? Where's Kamala Harris? Yesterday, she was in Georgia. Today, he was in Florida and Georgia. I ran through the litany of on-the-ground facts from this response 2 days ago. But just to add to it, now Governor McMaster has said the response has been superb. Brian Kemp has said again, we have everything that we need. Florida is happy with the response. North Carolina is happy with the response. That does not mean that it is not a complete disaster, but it does mean that the Biden administration absolutely took this seriously. You say no National Guardsmen. There are over 4,000 that are on the ground, and we've had search and rescue from 19 states.
The response has been swiftly and efficiently carried out. Biden even preemptively okayed the relief programs before the storm, so there would be no delay after the storms hit. What you can say is, sure, maybe there's some issues with FEMA. The relief limit should be higher. It should be a more wide-ranging program. We could have more programs like this to assist, and that would be meriting conversation. We could find agreement there, but the response from Biden and Harris has been them doing everything in their power. So to try to knock them from this is disingenuous. They're going where they need to be. They're standing in solidarity with the victims. So this attempt to kind of politicize yet another tragedy where people lost their homes, their lives, their loved ones, it's unempathetic and disingenuous at best.
As far as the media approach or what she's doing and who she's taking questions from, and you're upset at a circuitous answer, again, the voters are not upset about it. We would not be in this kind of deadlock of a race if people were annoyed about it. She's up 2.2 in the Real Clear Politics average, up 3 in 538. Nate Silver has her as the slight favorite in his probability model. And Cook Political Report yesterday put out swing state polls. She's up in 6 of 7 of them. But this was the astounding thing. For the first time ever, a plurality of swing state voters now think a Democrat will win. And that's an 11-point swing in her favor. She has the temperament to do the job. She's up 9 on uniting the country. What is so bad?
Well, obviously, it's because she laughs a lot and is a woman, right? No, I mean, but there's no serious attacks that the right can land on Kamala on her positions, especially not her experience and professionalism. And that's why it's clear that they're grasping at straws to say, oh, she ran different in a primary than she's running now, which is literally typical. In a primary, you run to find the heart of a party. In the general, you're meeting the party where they're at. In your presidency, you're taking the party where you want them to go. This is just how electoral politics works, right? Or oh, she didn't deserve the position, even though she has more experience than J.D. Vance. Or you know, just whatever attack in that time can land for them. She's labeled by the right, for instance, as being scared of doing anything she hasn't done. She's scared of interviews, and then she does them, right? And then it's just an instant shift to the next thing while she continues to knock out interviews, continues to talk to reporters, knock the debate out of the park, stomped on Trump, like literally danced on his political grave. She resonates with voters, and that's why we're seeing this massive swing of votes in her favor. We're up in the polls. We're up in the Electoral College map. We're predicted to win by Nate Silver, but it's still a deadlocked, tight race that anyone can win. And typically when the races are this close, Republicans are favored because the Electoral College inherently will benefit conservatives more than it will Democrats. But Kamala has single-handedly put the Dems back into a race that they were falling out of completely just 2 months prior. And Dem voters do not see the issues that the right is trying to create, right? We understand that the vice president can't legislate. However, she has handled her duties as vice president pretty well. She's broken more ties than any vice president has. She was told to stem the flow of migration from 3 Central American countries. She met with those countries after migration from those 3 countries dropped. She has a vision for her presidency. She's young and fresh in the eyes of voters. It helps that she's not a felon, not a rapist. She didn't try to steal democracy. So the only people who have these real issues with her and her campaign are those who wouldn't be voting for her anyway.